Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. This is episode 0.4 of About Last Week in the NBA, where we just pretty much discuss about what happened last week in the NBA. I'm your host, Jared, aka King Convict. You can call me Con or Convict. Mostly people just call me Con. Of course, I got my boy Matt here with me. Matt, say what up. Okay, he already said it. Now you good?
Yeah, I thought that was like my cue. Like as soon as you start.
I'm back. We'll get it one day. You know what I'm saying? We're still hashing out logistics, you know what I'm saying?
We're not even episode 1 yet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. We're not even episode 1 yet, so we're still getting the logistics ironed out. But I did want to say one thing before I start getting into the show. You might hear me say, AKA Convict. And I did want to explain that a little bit more. I don't think I explained that too well the first time. And why I have an AKA, but pretty much that is what a lot of people would call a gamer tag. And just in case you don't know, that's a gamer tag is pretty much what a gamer or a person would go by when they're playing a video game or whatever. So you will hear me and have some guests on the show that I will probably refer to them as their gamer tag and not their actual name. So I just wanted to say that it's not like a weird code name or anything going on. It's just literally that's what us gamers usually, I feel comfortable calling my other fellow gamer by their gamer tag. But furthermore, saying that this is a podcast about sports by gamers, so you might hear references to gaming culture or somewhere along those lines. So I don't want you to be freaked out if you hear something referred to and something compared to a video game or something. So this is not a sports. We're not normal people. We are gamers talking about sports, and we generally we will reference some gaming stuff. So don't be freaked out if you hear something like that. And you might hear some weird names that I call some guests, but that is their gamer tag. Just give you a heads up. But furthermore, let's talk about what actually happened and why we're here. What happened last week in the NBA. And actually, there's really nothing to talk about. I just want to really just talk about what happened last night in the NBA, man. If you don't know, today is Monday, May 16th. So last night, yesterday actually, Boston and Milwaukee finished their Game 7. And then last night...
Let's go!
last night, it was Matt with his Boston fan. And then last night, Phoenix... I guess you could say played basketball against Dallas. I really don't know what happened last night. I'm gonna start with Phoenix and Dallas because I literally, if you look at my notes, Matt, I know you saw it. I just have question marks to start off this topic because I really just I don't know what the fuck happened, man. I'll just start by saying I didn't see the first 10 minutes of the quarter of the pretty much I didn't see the first 10 minutes of the game, and I essentially missed the whole game. The game was over by the end of the first quarter in a Game 7. That's very, very disappointing, and it's sad to say that this is how that series ended because it was a battle. But yeah, man, it's just I don't know what to say, man. Just question marks. Matt, did you catch the game, man? What did you get your initial feelings if you watched it?
So I didn't watch it. I only saw all the memes online.
Oh boy! So I mean,
Luka,
the memes pretty much told you the whole story, everything you needed to know.
Yeah.
It was the second the tip off went off, and I actually went back and I did see the first. So I went back and watched it. The first tip off, it was Luka got the ball, came down. I forgot if it was a 2 or a 3. No, it was a 2-pointer. He had Aiden on his hip, and he just did a move, easy 2-pointer right over Aiden, and he's just doing his little back trot laughing, you know what I'm saying? And then he gets the ball back, comes down, hits a 3, up 5, they score, comes back, hits another 3, now it's 8-2, and it's just all right. It was pretty much at that point, everybody in the stadium was oh, the game is over. That's literally Matt. That's literally how the game went. It's literally he came, scored 3 times, and Phoenix just had nothing they could do. and the game is over. Before I literally turn the game on, the game is over. And the rest of the game is just Dallas hitting threes and Phoenix, and not even Phoenix, man. Booker and CP3 literally 0-9 for the first half. And it's, I don't know how you can even like, what do you say to that, man? Like 0-9?
You gotta step up. You can't just, first of all, you can't just take 9 shots in the first half.
Yeah, no, as a duo, like Booker and first of all, Booker by himself, man. I'm not even gonna say it because like the K word. I'm gonna just say it. The K word is Kobe, but like I would never ever see Kobe Bryant pull a 0 for 9 and a half. Not even just 0 for 9. Not just shoot 9 shots.
Only
in
9,
the first half.
9 shots.
And that's paired up with CP3. So like he shot less than 9. I don't know the exact number, but he shot less than 9 in the first half. So it's just like, as a superstar that everybody loves Booker to say that he is, 4th in MVP that they put him as this year, that is just what you cannot have happen, man. And it's just like, before I even talk about what Dallas did, you have to talk about who I had as the favorite to win it all this year, which was Phoenix. I had them winning it all this year. And actually, if you really go back and look at like how all of the shows were talking, every talking point, every talking head was speaking as if Phoenix was going to be there in the finals. There was never any waiver in anybody's who's going to be there in the West. It was Phoenix. Like everybody was saying Phoenix. Like you rarely would get somebody else saying somebody other than Phoenix. And so in this series, literally nobody had Dallas being there. Nobody had Dallas winning. And so it's just like, to see how this series ends in that kind of blowout, man. They were almost down by 50 points, man. Like, do you hear that?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at the stats now, and the Mavericks had 27 points in the first quarter, while the Suns only had 27 and a half. 10 points for the second quarter. You got Devin Booker with 37 minutes and only 11 points.
Yeah, 37 minutes, 11 points. To end the game 7 with 11 points after you not almost begged, but he campaigned for MVP this year. And I just don't see any other MVP candidate going out like that. Like you're not going, no, I'm just saying, no other MVP candidate, Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, is putting up those numbers in a game 7. You could lose, you know what I'm saying? Giannis, you could lose, but you're still putting up 20, 20, and 9. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're putting up numbers at least.
You're not, no, I'm not. He put up 20, 20, and 9. Like, like he did that. And it's just like, you can't put up 11 points. Essentially, CP3 only put up 2 points because like the last 7 points that he scored came in garbage time. Well, literally the whole halftime was by halftime it was garbage time. Like it was an embarrassment, man. It was literally the most embarrassing game 7. And it was like almost after an embarrassing game 7 that just happened. Like, I wouldn't say the Milwaukee game was embarrassing because Milwaukee had the lead at one point. Like, Phoenix never had the lead. It was never any energy. Ayton only had 5 points and 4 rebounds. I don't know what the hell was up with him. Actually, there was something that came out that he was benched, and Monty Williams came out and said it was internal. It was an internal reason. And even more things came out, like Lil Wayne told Skip Bayless. You know, it's a whole like he told me thing. But like Lil Wayne who was courtside, pretty much saw them go at it. DeAndre Ayton and the coach Williams, I think that's his last name, Monty Williams. They pretty much was going at it, and he was benched. I mean, he's giving you 5 points and 4 rebounds as a 7-foot guy. It's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And on top of that, he's expecting to get paid. He's not getting paid. I mean, it's awkward that he wasn't paid, and that could be a reason for his what Lil Wayne said, that he saw that Monty Williams said he quit on us, which is what started the whole feud. Was Monty Williams thought he quit on them, but I mean, 5 of 4 is just like, what can I say you did? Like, other than like are you hurt? No, you have to quit on me, like giving me 5 points and 4 rebounds. It's just bad, man. It's just bad, man.
It's not the same team that got 64 wins in the season.
Yeah, man. And then yeah, 64 wins, and they made regular season look easy, man. Like they were jogging past these games, sitting like whole fourth quarters because the game was over. You know what I mean? Like that's how this team was getting to this game, and it's just like, man, that's crazy. I didn't have Dallas getting this far, so this is why I'm even more just like I'm just ashamed and just disappointed in the Phoenix Suns, man. They like, I have to almost get to the legacy talk with well, people don't even call him CP3 no more. There's a bunch of stuff saying we don't call him CP3 no more. We call him Christopher. He go by Christopher now. I'm like, hey man, that's it. It's hard to call him CP3. Man, I'll call him CP3. The name I will never call him anymore is Point God. You will never hear me refer to CP3 as Point God from here on out. And he can redeem himself, but it's highly likely at 37 years old he'll redeem himself. I just think he lost the name. I just honestly, I think last night he lost the name Point God. And he should just hold on to CP3 because that's a cool name. It's cooler than Christopher. It's way. I'd rather be called CP3 than Christopher. So man, it's just what a debacle, man. But yeah, the legacy talk, man. It's just like CP3's coming back. You know what I mean? I don't know if you knew that. He's 37 years old. He's not done. He's still got. You know how much he's getting paid, Matt? By any chance? Like randomly? I don't think you do. You wouldn't know. Hold on real quick. Let me I looked it up earlier. He's getting 28 million. I think he just got 28 million, or he's getting 28 million this year, and then it's going up another 30 million next year.
He's on a 4-year 120 right now, and then it says for his contract 21 to 22, he's getting 30 million. 22 to 23, which is right now, he's getting 28.4. Next year he's getting 30.8, and the year after that he's getting 30 million, but it looks like it's optional.
When I saw that contract, I was actually kind of surprised. I knew they gave him money. I just didn't know they paid him until he was gonna be 39. Was the year, right?
Oh, until he's 40, actually.
Until he's like, that's an option, I believe, at that point.
Yes.
But it's just 40, man. The player that I just saw in this series, the last, I want to say 4 to 5 games, man. I'm not happy if I'm a Phoenix fan, giving this guy pretty much Westbrook money. I mean, Westbrook's getting paid $10 million more than him, but it's still like you're giving a guy a lot of money who over the last 4 to 5 games didn't produce point guard money numbers. It's just
Devin Booker too. He's getting 33 million.
See, I'm glad you said that, man. I think people are being too. I think everybody's being too harsh on Devin Booker, and I want to say, I don't want to say the legacy talk for Devin Booker, because Devin Booker, I actually wanted to look up how old he was before I did this. I totally forgot to do that, man. How old is Devin Booker?
26 right now.
26. 25. I see. This says 25.
So,
25, 26.
Oh, yeah,
he's young.
Right, okay.
Point blank, he's not 37 years old, what Chris Paul is. So I'm not being as harsh on Devin Booker is. Like, people were saying, oh, he's not on this level as these other people and blah blah blah. I'm just like, guys, he was 2 games away from a ring last year. Literally 2 games away from a ring last year. So can we just like stop with the I need to like pounce on Devin Booker stuff, because it's like, guys, slow down. All right, 2 games away from a ring last year. He had a rough, couple of series this year, but I mean, I'm not ready to take him off no pedestal. I'm not ready to knock him down a tier that I'm hearing other people ready to do. I think somebody already, I can't really remember who they compared him to, but it's just like I'm not doing that. I'm nowhere near talking legacy talk with him. He's 25, 26. He has another decade of being great, literally. So I'm not coming for him at all. But CP3, he does not have a decade of being great. Literally, I think his greatness is coming in spurts. It's coming. It's. I think it's gonna be one of those like he's gonna have to load manage this next season, because I wouldn't want to play this man 82 games. Well, I don't even know he played 82 games this year, but I'm not playing this old guy where he's gonna be broken down or searching for excuses when it's game 7 and I need you to score the ball. Like I just it's like it's crazy that they already have to pay him. Like there's no choice to make. You can't really move CP3. Like I don't like they're in a really weird situation right now, the Suns, man, where they really only can move Ayton. Ayton's their only piece they can really have to play around with. They can't move CP3, not moving Devin Booker, so like really it's only Ayton. Ayton can't come back. I don't see him in a Suns jersey next year at all, period. It's not happening. Ayton's somewhere else next year, so wherever that is, put that on. We'll get that guessing going, but he is not in a Suns jersey next year at all. If that is happening, some stuff, like he ironed out everything with his contract, he ironed out everything with the owners, and I don't see none of that happening, so he's out of here. But yeah, we talked a lot on so far already, over 15 minutes about that whole series.
Drag Karma in real quick too.
Is Karma wanting to talk?
He's ready.
If Karma wants to slide in here, he can slide in here. Sure, we'll get his last final thoughts. Oh, Karma.
Hello.
Oh boy, hold on. Let me turn you down.
My bad.
You good? It's my fault. Say something.
Hello.
You good? All right, so man, you got any final thoughts before we switch over? Phoenix, Dallas. Any final thoughts? How'd you feel about that game?
I was just a comedy show. That's all it was. My buddy at work, we were watching that game while we were at work, and like he's a huge Suns fan, so I just kept, anytime I saw him, I walked past him, just gave him a huge ass like smirk on my face. It was just, I felt bad, but like, wow.
Yeah, literally, that's all you can say is just wow. Like that's all I was saying the whole time. You can ask my wife. I was just like, wow.
I wasn't even watching it at first. Like I was in the middle of my shift. My buddy texted me. He's like, "Yo, I'm sorry for talking all that smack about the Warriors. Good luck in the Western Conference Finals." I'm like, "Wait, what happened?" And I look at the score, and it's halftime, 57-27. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Dog, Luka pretty much outscored them by himself, and it was over.
Yeah.
It was a GG. But Matt, can you do me a favor, man? Can you send Karma the notes if you haven't already?
Sure, ding, dude.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So yeah, that's a Suns Mavs series, man. Most disappointing Game 7, I think, in the history of Game 7s. But I'm not old enough to see every single Game 7. But that was the most disappointing Game 7 I've ever seen. I was hyped for that day, man.
That whole series was great, back and forth, not a single home loss.
Whole series was amazing, man. And then just to have the game end in this like a 50-point game at one time, sad. But let's swing over to the other Game 7 that wasn't as disappointing. But yeah, it definitely wasn't as disappointing because it wasn't a 50-point game. But it wasn't as close as I'd like it to be. The Milwaukee versus Boston game. I actually meant to have the game recap playing behind me. But yeah, so this game was I want to say the series was interesting to say the least. But the Game 7 was just, as you can just say, it was just a great team effort. Did you watch the game, Karma, or was you
Absolutely. No, I got that one. Yeah, I caught most of that one. Yeah.
What'd you think about it, man?
I mean, the Bucks felt like they're out of it pretty early on. They just weren't hitting shots. They were getting like super unlucky bounces. I think I saw like 4 in a row. Milwaukee would go and shoot, it hit the inside of the rim and then bounce right out. Like they just were not getting bounces to go their way.
Yeah,
they couldn't.
It really.
Their Celtics defense was locking them down.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, I'm sorry. It really came down to like the role players, and Milwaukee pretty much just had no role players showed up yesterday. What's it called? Pat McConnington. Well, I forgot his last name. It's really one of those names, but he was actually doing pretty well this series, and he didn't show up at all. They got actually a lot out of Robin Lopez, which was their only other dude. Drew Holiday got a little hot and towards the end, but Robin Lopez was really the only other player that showed up with Giannis. And yeah, it got a little carried away towards the end, man. Grant Williams, man, how many threes did he shoot? I think if you look right now, he's still shooting threes.
Probably. He made 7, shot like 12, I think.
Yeah, he was it only just 12. I swear he put up like 16 at one. I think it was.
They were all shooting threes, man.
I think at one.
Richard, I've never even heard of that dude, and he nailed 4 threes.
PP.
That's what it is about the home court advantages, though. You have players like Pritchard hitting 4 threes, or like 3 to 4 threes, and it's just like, when did he like become a 3-point sniper? And it was just they ran away with it at one point, man. It was just, and Giannis, man. But my take last week was, is Giannis like human? And Giannis is, it's good to know that yes, Giannis is human, guys. He bleeds. If you guys didn't know, he actually knows how to. He does bleed. He actually took a shot and he actually bleeds, and he gets tired. I think Game 7, he was missing finger roll layups, like stuff like I could like help. If I had his length, I could be like, yo, I could do that. He was just bombing those, just completely just missing those easy layups. And you got to say that he's tired at that point. I have no other reason to say that. I mean, you got to be tired. You went to the finals last year. You know what I mean? As you played 80-something games, he played a lot of games. He plays a lot. He plays hard all the time. You fought hard this series, and you did it pretty much by yourself. You took a really good team to a Game 7 essentially by yourself. And yeah, man, you get tired, and I'm not mad at him at all for getting tired. But it's good to know that Giannis is human and he bleeds. That's all I want to just keep saying. But I wanted to also mention, man, Al Horford. Since they advanced, we have to talk about Al Horford in Game 4. What the hell was that, man? Do you remember Al Horford in Game 4? He had 30 points.
Yep, 30 and 30. Him and Jalen.
Yeah. I
Jason
thought.
Tatum, sorry.
I swear, 2 years ago, I thought Al Horford was like about to retire, and here he is, literally winning meaningful games in round 2 of the playoffs. I think that's insane. I honestly think that's really amazing. And a big shout out to Brad Stevens, who is the executive, or what do you call it, the president of the Boston Celtics, who actually made that play and that trade. And I think Chaco was the one that really brought it up to me, that you really got to give Brad Stevens. I say Chaco, but I don't know who that is. Chaco that's his gamer tag that's my boy from Twitch. He had a point that you really gotta give Brad Stevens his props for getting Al Horford for what he got him for, and turned him into what he turned into, because like, he was a game changer in Game 4, and essentially he did a lot in Game 5. Even though they lost that game, he made Giannis work, and they almost had that Game 5. But yeah, no, Al Horford was amazing that series. So give it up for Al Horford, man. He's old, man. You don't know how much he's got left now, but I mean, they're gonna need him. Because they're gonna need a lot of players, because Miami is not no joke. Even though a lot of people, I feel like, ain't giving Miami not a chance, but we'll get into that later, man. Any thoughts, Karma, about that series, man? Your final thoughts? Like
Even
Celtics.
Game 3. I'm still talking about Alfred, because man, that is so crazy what he just turned into. Like Game 3, 22 and 16 rebounds. Like, even though he wasn't scoring a whole lot outside of those 2 games, he had 5 games where he had more than 10 rebounds. So that's huge for that team, because you saw what happened with rebounding and how that helped that team. He just, he really stepped up into his role of just being able to move the ball around for his team. He didn't have to be the primary scorer, but when, they needed it, he definitely showed up.
Yeah. But, I mean, it sucks that I had to waver my pick, because I started first, Celtics defense. Then I saw Giannis play in 3 games. I switched it over. I was flip-flopping that whole series. I probably would hope I never do that again. But Giannis, man, he's such a good player, man. It's hard to bet against him. And I had him winning Game 7. And I don't know, man. It's hard to bet against Giannis, because he's such a monster, just a beast. And it really shows that he really needed his Middleton, man. He really needed Middleton. It sucks that Middleton went down in the first round. It really sucks. But I think Boston. I mean, not Boston. I think Milwaukee would be just fine. There's no really legacy talk with them because they have a forever franchise, statue in Giannis that they're gonna be there next year. They're gonna be there year after year. But I think Bud is gonna be on the hot seat next year. Bud being the coach. People still may not remember, but he would have been fired had KD's foot not been on that line and they lost that series. Like, it is what it is. Bud would have been fired and they would have been looking for a new coach last year, but because it was on the line, they won. You know the rest of the story. That's how I feel. Like, that's what I feel. I don't know how you feel. I literally think Bud was on his way out, and losing Game 7, yeah, they didn't have they didn't have Middleton, but you did have home court and you could have closed it out at home, and they did not. So it's a little heat on Bud that it's gonna definitely come into fruition next year to see if he can like do something. Because if he can't do something with Giannis, it's kind of just like if you have LeBron and you're losing in round 2. It's just like, what are you doing losing in round 2 with LeBron? It's like, what are you doing losing in round 2 with Giannis? It's kind of like that, and it sucks. But like, yeah, Bud. I don't know how you feel about that, Karma, but yeah.
I don't like having someone's injury be a reason for another person's luck, but Middleton being hurt is the only reason he has his job still for this, even including the season. Because, Drew Holiday was going that whole series. Giannis, I mean, he didn't look like the Greek Freak in every single game, but he still had like tons of fantastic games for a normal player. Like, he was still doing it. He just didn't get the right guys in there. He kept throwing in those point guards that last game who had a total of like what, 6 points across 4 guys.
Yeah,
like,
man. He kept using that. Allen too. A lot of people did not like the minutes Grayson Allen was given. He wasn't given good minutes, and he just kept going in Grayson Allen, and it was didn't produce. That's
but the story of Allen is a whole series. They just keep giving him more and more minutes, and he's not doing anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, he'll have those. The thing about Grayson Allen is he'll have those flashes. Like, he'll literally will like hit big shots because he doesn't care about moments. Like, he's not afraid of the moment. That's his personality. That's why you kind of would go for a Grayson Allen. But when he's off, and he'll keep shooting. And it's just like, why are you shooting? Pass the ball. You're Grayson Allen. You have Giannis on your team. But yeah, that's the end of that series. But moving on, I just want to touch a little bit on Matt, what do you think about that Heat? I mean, the Boston Milwaukee series. You got anything to say about that?
Not too much about it, actually.
No,
it was
you
a
happy.
roller coaster for me.
Yeah, I know you personally involved. It's a little different for you.
It's personally a roller coaster. Honestly, only thing I was sad about that series was the events that happened after Game 6 in Milwaukee.
What do you mean by that?
Terrible. There was this shooter in the stadium or next to the stadium.
Oh, right. Outside of the stadium. That was a little wild. Yeah, that was a little scary. I forgot about that. That was a little wild. Yeah, you can't have that. But
I mean, I feel like sports should be like a thing like you can debate on, but you can agree on it all day.
Yeah, you shouldn't be taking it to that point over a sport.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
I mean, I actually forgot to look into more detail, like who was on who, like who, like, was the aggressor. But it's just like, it should never get to that point.
Never, no.
But yeah, but other than that, moving on, next series. Well, the series that I didn't really talk about too much, because we haven't talked in a week, so we do have to talk about the Miami-Philadelphia series.
It is about last week.
It is about last week, so we do have to touch on what happened last week. And Miami ended the series in 6 games. I predicted 4 at first, then Embiid came back. I said 5, but lo and behold, it was 6. I would say mostly being watching every single game and watching that series, Miami could have ended that game sooner if Spoelstra identified Kyle Lowry's injury was a big hindrance to the team. Game 3 and 4, Kyle Lowry came back from his hamstring injury and was completely useless. Is pretty much the only word you could say, and that's a starting point guard getting starting point guard minutes, it's tough to win a game when your point guard is not shooting the ball. He's just not confident in his movement. He's not confident in shooting the ball. He's not confident in passing the ball. It's really hard to win 2 games with your starting point guard not playing to his max. You sit him down, we win 2 games easily. That's one way to look at the series. Other way to look at the series is Embiid comes back, plays amazing, 2 games, is just, on the court doing his thing. Then he just gets annoyed, man, just having to play with this mask on his face. He gets hit in the face in game 5, and he literally just plays different after that moment. He's not the same player after that moment. And it's just, you got to look at it as Embiid just being riddled with injuries yet again in the postseason, and then just not having a supporting cast, aka I don't even call him James Harden. I call him Jimbo Harden, and I call him Jimbo from Jimmy Neutron. His father used to call his son Jimbo, and it's just a disrespectful name to call somebody like Jimbo. So I call James Harden Jimbo Harden, and it's just like he didn't have any help from Jimbo. Maxey, you can only ask so much from Maxey. I'm not gonna even blame Maxey. He's not the guy you paid money to, you begged to come over to score the ball. And it's just like, what do you do? What do you do if you're the 76ers, Karma? What do you have to say, man?
It's just starting to look more and more like the whole trade between Ben Simmons and Harden is just a lose-lose for everybody.
Everybody lost. Nobody won that trade, man. Well,
he had one game.
Nobody so far, I will have to say, but go ahead.
So far, for sure. We don't know what Ben Simmons is going to do yet, but I mean, sitting out for 4-game series is not the best look. But Harden, 31 points was his best game, and that was it from him. Everything else, he was being paid hundreds of millions of dollars to be a mediocre star. That they could have kept Seth Curry in for that.
Bruh, Seth Curry could have easily shot more than 2 shots in a half in an elimination game. You think Seth Curry is putting up more than 2? Come on, like.
It's just it feels like
go ahead.
It's a 6-game series, but it never really felt like it was like the Heat had a shot of losing. Even though they lost those 2 straight games, like, who cares?
Me as a personal Heat fan, I was not worried for like a second the series. That's kind of not good, because I want a challenge before I'm about to face Boston. But you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't worried for a second. Anything else?
I mean, that's pretty much. He's like just such a thorn in that whole series. Like, I know Embiid fell and hurt Danny Green that last game. That sucks too.
Man, thanks for bringing that up. I totally forgot about that.
Outside of injury, it's just Harden just thinking up the whole thing. He wasn't just doing anything. He's being paid millions of dollars to just not do anything. He's not useful on that court. Like, no one wants to pass on the ball. You see Maxey complaining about, hey man, give me the ball. Stop just sitting there looking lost on the court.
And then I don't know if you watch the the after game interviews. It's just like he's not taking any ownership at all. He's just pretty much saying the ball didn't come back to me. The ball didn't come back to me. Yeah, no, yeah, you could say he's already like checked out. He's in Miami, literally ready to go hit the club, man. He's just, how does the point guard saying the ball doesn't get back to me? You call the plays. You start with the ball. You walking up with the ball. Literally, you're walking up with the ball. Pass the ball and have it come back to you. And like, just the fact that he says the ball never came back to me. I watched that game 2 times because I'm a Heat fan, so I'm gonna rewatch the win. And he would literally walk up the court, slow, like not even walk. He would like trot up the court. Like, I wouldn't even say it's a walk. He would just walk, like trot up the court, and the play is going on the other side, like they're passing the ball, and he just literally would stand there. And what PJ Tucker would do is PJ Tucker would check him like face to face. Like, PJ would not care about anything going on, and I'm sure that pissed James Harden off. But PJ Tucker would not care about what's going on behind him. He was just face to face with James Harden, and James Harden would not would do no like fake this way, go this way, clap, but give me the ball. Like, it was none of that from an elimination game superstar. Nah, man, you just can't do that, man. There's no, the ball didn't come back to me. You didn't go to the ball. You didn't want the ball. I don't know what it was. Like I don't know, man. It's just
Tim Legler said it best, talking about him. You're paying him to be that guy who wins those ISO plays, those one-on-one shots,
man.
Three. He didn't do any of that at all. He just got surrounded and pickpocketed every time.
What was that guy's name you just said again? I forgot.
Tim Legler.
Tim Legler. Man, he tore it. He broke it down so elegantly in that one play where he's just like, it just looked so sloppy, man. It was just, this is the play one-on-one against Oladipo, who, by the way, just came back after 2 years, like, not playing in the NBA, just recovering from a surgery. Could not get past Oladipo. And he did a stutter step, jab step. Oladipo did not move for a second. It like, nobody's afraid of James Harden blow by. Like, it's not happening no more. So it's just like, he does a stutter step, tries to go past him, doesn't get it, tries to do some behind the back, you know, between the leg move, and it's just, they triple team him and it's a turnover. It's just like, he's not that guy no more. He says he wants to come back. I mean, he has a player option for like 40-something million, and somebody actually asked him, are you willing to, you know, take less to, you know, get a better team? And he actually said yes, he is willing to renegotiate contract that could get possibly a better team around him. I don't know how honest he is. We'll have to wait and see, because it's James Harden, and I don't really see James Harden giving up 47 million, because nobody's giving him 47. No, I don't know. Karma, do you think he's getting the max? That's a good question. Like, do you think he's getting the max?
Max, but I think he's gonna get it.
You think he's gonna get it?
Yeah, I mean, like, somebody's gonna be desperate, right?
So you think he'll opt out and they'll max him, like,
I think
whatever the 5
him
years, 4 years,
like,
or whatever.
I mean, hey, I'm not gonna blame the guy for wanting to get paid. He's gonna get paid. Congratulations, you're a million. You're making tons of money. But I am gonna critique him on, you know, not using that money correctly. Like, look at KD and the Warriors, took $5 million deal and won 2 championships, and then Harden's over here soaking up all this money and missing points or missing shots in the final elimination game, 0 points in the half. Like,
yeah, man, it's, I mean, would I pay him the max? No, I'm not paying him the max. I'm gonna hope that he opts out, and I could, like, try to maneuver another score, somebody else to come with him, because, like, him by himself and this team right now, they're not winning anything, I don't believe, unless Embiid can just stay healthy. And even then, I still think James Harden is past the point where he can be that guy, and it's sad they gave up Seth Curry, man. I think that's really gonna, like, really beat him in the long run. It's like they gave up Seth Curry for this guy, and like, when you think about that, that sounds a little nuts, but, like, no, Seth Curry is a better player than James Harden would be in that elimination game. Like, without a doubt in my mind, I think Seth Curry would be a better player in that elimination game.
I think Curry just fills the role that they were trying to fill with Harden better, you know, just being that 3-point sniper, you know. He had a better 3-point percentage than his brother that year.
And the thing is, he's not even just a 3-point sniper. He can run the pick and roll with Embiid. Like, he will run around Embiid, do all those moves that Embiid like, and then he'll get an open shot, and all Embiid has to do is just stand there. And, like, there's nobody on this team that's moving. Like, Maxi's not moving. He's not a 3-point shot like you'd like him to be. Like, he'll hit a shot, but he's not the 3-point guy like Curry is. It's just, man, they're gonna have a lot to deal with. One, because Danny Green tore his ACL at 35, and, like, that sucks. The way it happened sucks, and it's just, they have a lot to think about coming up in their off season, because Jimbo Harden wants to come back, man, and good luck with that. I'm glad Miami didn't make that trade, because it was some little talks, man. Miami was gonna make that trade for Harden, man, and I'm just like, I am thankful. We
made the smartest move they could have made, and that was picking up Oladipo when he was hurt, because he's coming back, and we didn't talk about it in the last series.
We can talk about it right now, because we're getting into the Heat versus Celtics. So
sure, let's
go ahead.
Oladipo, wow. I mean, like, I missed watching him play like that. he's not doing like the 30 points a game. He's not like being like the Pacers god, but he's getting there. He's getting close, you know? Coming off the bench, he's getting good minutes, he's getting good utility. They had a couple of games where nobody was showing up and he was just consistently, you know, getting his points in, getting his passes in. He was just doing what you want from him, from somebody coming off that injury. He's gonna be so good.
I think it's kind of like a cheat code, almost, you could say, man. Just having a 2-time All-Star coming off your bench, and he's not even the 6th man.
No, that's
like,
even crazier.
Like, I think Eric Spoelstra is just like, he's spoiled, and it's crazy to say as a coach that this late into the season is spoiled with how many players you can bring off the bench and they can all score the ball. But Miami just has that, and Spoelstra is just like, yo, who's gonna go off today? Like, who can I put on the court as like a piece to go together, that who's gonna go off? And it's just like, it's beautiful to see, man. And
having a gifted coach like Spoelstra with this kind of like riches and talent works really good for the Heat, just because like you were saying, anybody can go off on any given night. He can draw up plays for anybody on that team that he wants to get going, you know?
Facts.
It doesn't have to just be the Jimmy Bucket show, but it can be.
It easily can be. It easily can be, which is why I'll lead you to this one question that I have. And it's a good question. Who do you think, which team has the better player? And not just overall play. I mean, like, playoff-wise, this playoffs, which team has the better player? No pressure.
The better performer so far has been Jason Tatum.
Okay, explain. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I want to hear you.
Yeah, no. He is just the way he elevates his team. Like, he has those 46-point games where he carries the team on his back, saves them from elimination, but he is like, he's pulling everybody's focus on him. You know, like Al Horford got going because he had all that room in the world, because they're still worried about Jason Tatum. When is this guy going to go nuts? When's this guy going to hit it on like a deep three? When's this guy going to put a behind the back pass to somebody on his team and get them to the wide open shot? Like, I just never felt like he was out of the game. He was always a part of them winning, even when he wasn't scoring more than 20 a game, even when he wasn't, you know, getting all these. I feel like just him being on the court is so huge for the Celtics, because they don't have anybody else like that can be consistently great all the time. The Heat are blessed with so many good players that I don't feel like anyone on that team has really needed to step up yet to claim that role. But Jason Tatum's usage rate is off the charts. He's always on the court.
Yeah, game 6 definitely was the Jason Tatum game where he, you know, dropped 40. Was it 6? And it was just, it was just that in that fourth quarter, I rewatched it a couple of times, man. It's beautiful games, man. It's just like when they needed a bucket, he was there. It was just, give me the ball. I don't care where I am on the court. I'm gonna get a shot up and it's gonna go in. Like, he was in that zone, and they needed that. If they didn't have that, Bucks would have won that game easily. They would have won that game, because it was always within 4, within 5, and then Jason Tatum, please, and then he would boom. Oh, thank you, Jason Tatum. You're the best. It was literally that. And then game 6, it was just, I'm not losing it at home. Jason Tatum.
It's definitely just how the way the Celtics are built, like Chaco was saying. Just they built around having that, you know, that main star, instead of just like Jimmy Butler's got a million different people he can pass. Tyler Herro's gonna go blow up and go 34 points on a night. And give it to Bam Adebayo. Bam, he'll drop a casual 30. Like, they have so much.
I think I will have to agree with your who's got the best player. I think Boston does have the better player in this series. Jason Tatum. Although you know, numbers wise, Jimmy Butler, you can say, you know, has been the better playoff player, but then you got to also say competition. You know what I mean? Like, who has Miami Heat beat? And I'm a Miami Heat fan. I can say they ain't beat really nobody. They like Boston has beat, you know, we know the best duo ever in the history of basketball, and then they've actually just beat Giannis. You know, like, beating Giannis is no easy thing to say. Like, you beat Giannis, that's something to hold your head up high. They're definitely feeling themselves today. Like, there's no way they're not feeling themselves today. Like, I just beat Giannis in the game 7. And also we just beat Giannis at home in a game 6 against elimination. It's just like, you got to be feeling yourself on that. So, yeah, I say Jason Tatum. I'm sorry?
I'm not going to knock the Heat, because they literally played with their food the whole thing. But again, like you're saying, the Celtics have played the real deal.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like
all series.
I'm not saying Miami hasn't had any challenges, because like, you know, beating an Embiid team is still a challenge, but it wasn't the same Embiid, and you know, and Atlanta is Atlanta. I didn't believe Atlanta was going to do anything. Some people really did. I knew it wasn't going to be a real series. So it's just like this is the real challenge for Miami, and it could be a shock to Miami, where it could be like, because I wrote as Miami the underdogs, you know what I'm saying? Because Miami is technically the underdogs. The odds, even though Miami has home court advantage, Boston is favored in the, you know, Las Vegas odds. But yeah, so it can either go one way with this Miami team. I kind of lost my train of thought there. So it can either go two ways. Boston could like be on a total like high after beating Giannis, and just, you know, stay on that track and just keep going, and that could just like they can catch Miami completely off guard, whereas Miami hasn't played as we could say a real team. I guess you could say like a 1 through 5 who are solid all around the court on offense and defense. We haven't had that challenge yet. Atlanta definitely wasn't that challenge. Philly definitely wasn't that challenge. And like, here we go. This is the first real series for Miami, and it'll be interesting, man. Got any thoughts before I give you my who's gonna win take?
I want to hear this win take. Let's see
who's gonna win. All right.
Yeah. Talk about your heat.
All right. So the overall series, I'll give you my overall series takes, and then I'll give you like my game 1 takes, because that's what's happening the most recent. Overall takes, I have 2. I couldn't settle on one. All day I was going back and forth. I couldn't settle on one official take. Home court advantage, I'm going to say first, as a Miami fan, we have home court. Max Strus is going to be mad. He was waived by Boston earlier in the season in October. My man Max Strus was waived. He's now starting on Miami, putting up actual numbers. So he's got I wouldn't say a little chip, but he's got a chip on his shoulder. Home court, Max Strus being ready, Jimmy Butler also being ready. Jimmy Butler beating Jason Tatum, you know, 2 years ago in the bubble. Him just having that over him, like, you know, I've already beaten you before, I could beat you again type just attitude. And I could just see Miami just hitting shots, playing great defense, winning in 7. The only way I see Miami winning is in 7 games. I do not see them, honestly, I don't see them winning in Boston. If they do win in Boston, it's going to be tough. And if they do win in Boston, that means they lose at 1 in Miami. But I don't see them Miami winning in 6. Now, Boston could, you know, come out here. We just beat Giannis. Nobody can stop me. And, you know, here I am, Miami, who hasn't played a real team. We're going to shock you, and we're going to throw you off guard. First game, we're going to blow you guys out. And then Miami just can't fully recover from getting blown out, and Miami loses in 6. Boston wins in 6, I should say. So those are my 2 takes: either Miami in 7 or Boston in 6. And it all depends on game 1, man. It depends on game 1. If I know Lowry's not playing, and I don't feel any type of way about that. If Lowry were to play and he wasn't 100%, then I would feel a way about it. But because he's not 100%, he knows he was a hindrance in the last series, as we talked about before. So he knows that I'm at 100. I'm not going to even slow y'all down. Y'all go out and ball. So no Lowry. That's really smart. I love it. Robert Williams is available, and he has no minutes restriction, which I think is a little freaking wild. Yesterday, he couldn't play at all, but tomorrow, Tuesday, no minute restriction. Okay, we'll see. But, you know, Robert Williams is, quote, playing. And so, you know, you got to talk about it. Robert Williams will be there. I don't know how much he'll be there, but he will be there. So it really depends on that first game, man. If Miami, you could say they're rusty because they haven't played in a couple games. They're rested. But I think, you know, Miami's real rested. Home court. Max Strus is mad. Max Strus, like, balls out. I think Max Strus literally has the most points of the game. and that's how it is. That's game 1. Miami wins. They win it all in 7. That's my take. Take it away, Karma.
I'm gonna have to agree with your second take. I think Boston takes it in 6.
All right, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that. But
I'm glad I'm not a
break it down.
Celtics fan
Break
like
it down.
Matt. I had no like wavering thoughts about Boston losing that series against the Bucks.
Really?
Even though they got manhandled in game 1 and they were down. I didn't see that Celtics team losing, and they proved it. They really wanted to win. Like, I feel like they have the grit to want to win. Jason Tatum put the team on his back to get him that clutch game to get him to game 7, and the team took it away from there. It's not like I don't think the Heat are a great team. I just kind of think they're more like the Suns than a true 1 seed in that.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. Like, I
don't feel like they belong.
I wouldn't say they don't feel like they belong. Like, no,
it's
Miami
belong is like a team to win in 6. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah. It's just I know Miami. I watched them play all year, and like they're a snowball team. Whereas they're a snowball either really, really good, everything's falling for them, and we're gonna blow out, or we're snowballing terribly, and nothing's dropping, and we're just playing terrible. Our offense is garbage, and that's what I'm afraid of. What's gonna happen, man? We'll just snowball the wrong way. Boston's defense will be Boston's defense, and Miami's offense will get that stagnant, nasty stuff that sometimes happens, and it'll get nasty, man. And like, you know, Miami, when they're losing, they're not the best comeback team, in my opinion. So like, yeah, if Boston's up, it's gonna be bad, I think.
I don't think there's any blowout games this season or this series. I think it's going to be a Celtics win, but every single game is like within 5. I think
you think so? Oh, I concur. I think there's definitely going to be blowouts. Either way, Miami could blow them out one day where they're just not missing threes, or Celtics could blow them out and Miami's not hitting any shots at all. And it's either that. It's either Miami's hitting everything and it's a blowout, or Miami's hitting nothing and the Celtics blow them out. But there will definitely
it looks like we shall see.
There will definitely be blowouts. I don't like. We'll see though. But who you got? You said Boston is 6. You're stopping on one take. You're one take karma.
Oh yeah. Hey, I mean, up until that Mavs win last night, I was like, you know, blow for blow on the Suns thing, you know.
Honestly, man, Mavs. I had Mavs losing to the Jazz, bro. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. I had him losing to the Jazz, man. It was bad. Oh, let me take this. I forgot this doesn't look good on the screen. But yeah, man, I had him losing to the Jazz. So the way the Mavs are right now, man, I'm actually really happy. But we'll get into that later. Actually, we can get into that. I mean, unless you really want to talk about the Warriors and Grizzlies.
Just give a quick thought on it.
A little quick thoughts. Go ahead, man. You take it away. You being the Golden State guy.
I called Game 6. I called Game 6 Warriors win. Just saying.
Okay.
Anyways,
okay. No, but how do you feel about Game 5? Let me stop the music. How do you feel about Game 5?
I'm not gonna say it's Mike Brown's fault. That's not, because as a coach, you can't. That was just a tough game. But I mean, hey, they blew him out the game before. You know, it's a back and forth thing. No, but I think that the Grizzlies definitely showed what the season showed.
Yeah, the Grizzlies are a team, man. Yeah, that's a team.
They can win with Ja. They can win without Ja. They're gonna be back 100%. I think they have a real shot at making the finals next year, because they're ready. They're young. They're ready, and they didn't shy away from the
finals or conference finals.
Either. They're just they look great. Like the Warriors, a dynasty team had to stop them. You know, like if they were playing the Suns, I don't think it would have been the same series. I think they would have been in the finals against the Warriors. You know.
Yeah. Now the Warriors Grizz series, it was a fun series, man. It just sucks. Injuries made it what it was. We didn't really get the full series, but I mean, Warriors handled their business. Game 6. Not really much to talk about, honestly. It was just, Clay, Steph, just being Clay and Steph. Clay Game 6. I think I love Klay Thompson more than I should. He went on social media and posted the Jay-Z bar. Michael, Tyson, Jordan, then had a picture of him holding up Game 6. That was hard, man. Like, I love him for that shit. And I mean, he knew Game 6 is a meme online, and he really just took it and embraced it and ran with it.
I mean, with his performance, I wouldn't call it a meme. 20 in his last 6 Game 6, actually last 7 game sixes, he has a 28.2 points per game average. So I mean, he's game 6 Clay.
Yeah, no, yeah. When I say meme, I don't really mean in like as in
No, I
even
got
in a bad way, but like Game 6 Clay is like it's a thing that it's funny that
Here.
he knows it too. Like he's on the
Oh, yeah.
internet. He knows Game 6 Clay is like a thing, and like he went out there, fired off hot. Really, he was that set the tone. You know, just at the end he was just jacking it. He was just jacking him. Him and Steph was just going hard. Just how much we can
Kind of
make.
irrelevant.
Yeah,
But
it was.
Giants,
What happened?
the baseball team for the San Francisco Bay,
Mhm.
they kept putting up whenever Clay would score in Game 6 on their baseball game that night. They were putting up
Are you
pictures of
serious?
Clay on the board. Yeah.
I love that. I love that though, man. You know what I'm saying? The whole place loves that team. You know,
Everybody loves Clay in the Bay.
everybody loves Clay in the Bay. Why can't you can't hate Clay? But that was a fun series. Grizz played tough, but you know, only could do so much. But yeah, man, the team that I never thought. I honestly, I had both of these picks not here in the Western Conference Finals. So I was completely just wrong. My bracket was terrible. I had Phoenix, Memphis, and they're both gone. So, do you want to take it away? Dallas, Golden State. Who you got? Who do you think?
I am so excited for this series. I really I'm so ready to see Luka play the Warriors. Like,
I think it's gonna be a
I
really
can't
fun
hate this
series, man.
I love watching him play basketball, and him
too.
playing against my team. It's gonna be so fun. I'm not gonna get mad at anything in this series. It's gonna be so fun watching that happen.
I think it's gonna be a really fun series. So we already hit an hour of the show, but we still I gotta talk about this because I think this series is gonna be really fun. Luka is becoming one of my favorite players to watch play basketball. He literally just is. I'm gonna start by saying this: when he first came in the league, I did not like him. I'm gonna be real. He was arrogant. He was smug. He didn't accomplish anything, but he was still arrogant and smug about it. And I will always go back to this quote about him saying, "Oh, it's easy to score in the NBA compared to the Euro." Do you remember that quote? That was like his first year, and he was balling. I'm not saying like he had no reason to be smug and arrogant. Like the man was a baller, but like I didn't feel like he should have been saying all those things. But like, I don't know how you feel about that. Do you feel anything about that?
He's earned it the past couple of years, but that first year, I don't think he was ready to be saying that just yet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it rubbed me the wrong way, and I think
Especially with his usage, he's getting so much usage because his team is like it's not all the way there yet. I think when he doesn't play great, gives the ball up, his team plays better. But
Right.
if he's gonna be the one-man show,
yeah,
he's really the one-man show, and no one else shows up.
yeah. It's just, I mean, yeah, you can say that a lot. Yeah, he's definitely a one-man show, but over the years, grown to like this one-man show, and honestly, I can't wait to watch this series. I can't wait to watch him play basketball. I love just watching him torment the other team, man. Just laughing the whole time, smiling in your face as he's up 40. Like, how do you like not love this guy? And he just doesn't care, man. He'll smile into the camera after just like jaying you up, and he's like the slowest guy on the court. It's insane. But
I think another reason I'm excited for this series is he's the most LeBron type player that the Warriors have faced in recent years. Because like that last series, he had more points than Book. He had more assists than CP. Last game. This is just the last game. More points than Book, more assists than CP, more rebounds than Aiden, and more steals than Bridges. Like, what?
Yeah, no, he was doing the LeBron thing that LeBron would do in the series. He would do that thing. But no, so before I give my who's gonna win what I'm gonna let you take the floor, man. To the Golden State. Are you gonna be completely biased in here, or are we gonna get a real take?
If I'm going for my bias, I'm saying in 5.
Okay,
but
all right.
I'm being honest.
Bias. All right, he said it. Before you go on, I just want to let you know your bias is 5 games. All right.
Yep.
So next is what is your actual as a NBA analyst?
As an NBA analyst, being honest, I could see this game going to 6. Or going to 6. I don't think the Warriors have a shot of losing this, but I think they have a tough time the entire time, just because, you know, I didn't think the Suns had a shot of losing it, and the Suns got embarrassed. You know, I think this is a better matchup for the Warriors because they don't really have a center, the Mavs. You know, like a big tall guy that's gonna cause problems.
Yeah, I mean, what you say that, but who's the Warriors guy is gonna cause problems?
No, but that's the thing is like the Warriors had a tough time with the Grizzlies because they had big, tall guys. Like their whole team was just tall.
Right.
Mavericks don't have a bunch of tall guys on that team.
Oh
and
no,
that's
yeah, it's gonna be small ball all around the court. And the thing about the Dallas Mavericks is they like that. I think this series is gonna be a little more interesting than you think. You really think they have no chance? Like Golden State's in the finals. Both analysts and bias you.
Analyst and bias. I think I give him more credit as an analyst, but still,
That's interesting, man. I mean, coming from me, I'm gonna have to say that I had him, losing in round 1, and then just seeing this team pretty much like grow over these 2 series. Like, did what they had to do against the Jazz, but they really learned who they are as a team. I think against that Phoenix squad, they go down 0-2. Luka's still dropping, 40 points a game. He's doing Luka things. And it's just like the team, I think, really realized that Luka can't do it by himself. And they all stepped up, man. We didn't talk about it earlier, but I really wanted to mention Jason Kidd in that defense, man. They stepped it up. That's no other way to say that, man. You could say Booker and them were sucking, but they stepped up their defense. Like even Luka wasn't, the stopping guy, but he wasn't letting people easily get past him either. Like he actually is kind of like buying into the system of defense wins championships, low key.
maybe later in the series, but they absolutely were targeting him.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, no, which is why I'm saying like the first 2 games they went down 0-2 and it was just like a disaster. And I think something came out. One of the announcers for the Mavericks, while they were calling the game, said Jason Kidd talked to Luka, and he really said you need to really be It was something along the lines of you need to be more of a LeBron James, and you're kind of more of a James Harden, whereas you'll put up the numbers, but you won't win anything. And LeBron James will put up the numbers and will still win everything. It's just like. I guess when something sparked in Luka, and now here we are, and Luka is now in the Western Conference Finals, and James Harden's going home. I just think Jason Kidd definitely gets a lot credit. I think this is gonna be a really fun series, man. Who defends Luka? Who's stopping Luka?
Oh, I mean, Gary Payton's out, which sucks.
That does
he's probably one of the
really
best defenders.
suck. That's a big hit. I mean, you got Wiggins. You think Wiggins gonna?
No,
Wiggins your guy.
Dre. I think Dre's gonna have to be flipping onto him all the time. They're gonna have to keep switching him in there just because.
That's the thing. That's the thing, man. I don't think Warriors have anybody who can really stop Luka, and I say that because what's his name? Mikal Bridges, I believe is his name. Yeah, Bridges, man. You could say he played great defense, but once you switch him off, it's like, what are you gonna do? It's like you can only do so much.
Like Jokic is a scoring machine, and he was getting blocked down by Green. Yeah. Like it depends on the player, because Morant had no problem. He was just scoring all he wanted.
I think what it is for me is if Golden State would have shut it down in 5, I would feel way more confident about picking Golden State. Because it was a lot happened in that game 5 where Curry just was a complete no-show. Klay Thompson was just shooting himself out of the game, and Draymond just doesn't shoot at all. And it's just like that could happen a couple of times, and then Luka's just being Luka. Luka's never not gonna be Luka. I think Luka's reached that Giannis point in the playoffs where like Luka's gonna get 30. It's only like how much is he gonna get, and like how much is he gonna get his teammates involved. And if he chooses to get his teammates involved, it could be interesting, man. It could be interesting. I don't know how many games interesting, but it could be interesting, man. I'm not as confident as you are in the Warriors. I was confident in the Warriors, and then I see this Luka team beat the Phoenix the way they beat Phoenix, and it's just like, I can't write him off like that, man. I can't write him off. Especially when I don't see like the offense on the Warriors being what I am accustomed to. You know what I mean? Like PTSD has their moments, man. They gonna really need it. They gonna really need him.
Nah, not just PTSD. We gotta start including Wiggins in there. He was great that whole series. 16, 16, 16, 17, and 18 points in those games. And
He was
the
solid.
games that he, like, really mattered. You know, he was getting those rebounds. He was getting solid defensive plays. He's hitting important shots. Like,
Yeah,
I think he really mattered.
It really just depends on how much you guys work Luka on defense, because you guys are definitely gonna have to work him on defense, tire him out, so he's not as effective on offense. It really comes down to like the Warriors. It comes down essentially to the Warriors. The Warriors have more players that can, I believe, score the ball. They have the experience, of course. You always go down to experience, and they have home court. So all those things sounds like it's a Warriors winning this series. But I can't be as confident as say it's the Warriors. There's no chance Dallas on that, because I've said the last 2 rounds, no chance Dallas is gonna win. And look, I'm sitting here talking about Dallas, so it's just like, it's tough, man. I don't know, man. It really depends on, yeah, like I said, Golden State, how they play and how they play Luka. So I don't know. I'm afraid to say who's gonna win and how many.
I can't be really confident in the Warriors against the Mavs just yet, because I mean, again, didn't matter with the Grizzlies, but the Mavericks were 3-1 against the Warriors this year.
Yeah. Well, we come back and record another game. I think we'll be back before game 3, I believe, because they don't play till Wednesday, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sitting here nervous the entire time.
Yeah. So the game 3 is on the 22nd. That's Sunday. We might be back before game 3. So we'll literally watch both games in Golden State. Yeah, see, I was more I could easily call the last series. Because Miami, they win 1. I pretty much have them in 7. This game, I don't know, man. I don't want to say it's gonna go 5. It's gonna definitely go more than 5. I don't know, man. I want to say Dallas is winning this in 7, man. It's tough to say that. It's tough to say that. But I think Dallas wins this series in 6 or 7. It's 6 or 7, man. Dallas wins this series in 6 or 7. I'm sorry to say that, Karma. I love you.
No. That Luka. That's
the analyst.
Team play well.
That's the analyst in me. Luka. He's really good, man. That's really all you can say, man.
Really good. Yep.
He's really good, and it's hard to bet against him when the team you're going up against really doesn't have a go-to defender. So yeah, Dallas in 6 or 7.
I just think the difference maker is definitely going to be on the Warriors is Jordan Poole. Whether he wants to play like the monster he has been, or he'll have like another 8-12 point game.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a really fun series, man. I hope Steph Curry goes ham, man, because I don't want to have a Steph talk. I have the Steph talk in the notes. I don't want to have a Steph talk yet. And what I mean by Steph talk is he falling off? I want to whisper that. Like, is he falling off? Like, is he Steph Curry still? You know what I mean? I want to whisper,
my friend.
Right? I know. No, not even
one game under 20. He had one game under 20. Like, let's slow down a second here. So you can
say under 20, but he's still like he's like, when he's behind, is he the guy that's gonna get you out of the behind thing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's that guy.
He did in game 6. 14 points in the first half, 15 in the
But were they behind as a team?
Yeah, they were behind as a team that game. Like, he had to hit 3 threes to get him into the like a 6-point lead ahead of them. Like, they were behind when he started, heating up again. Okay, all right. I was saying, I don't want to have a talk. That's why I had a question mark. I had a question mark. Stephen talk question mark. Stephen walk.
I know.
I'll agree that his usage or his efficiency has really gone down. It's not great.
It's not the same, man. I don't want to hear. I haven't heard Mike Breen bang. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I just want one of those games from Stephen Curry where I just cannot believe what the fuck I'm seeing. You know what I mean? It's been years since I've seen that. That's all I'm saying. I
want one of those games too.
That's all I'm saying, guys. That's it for me. Actually, that's not it. There was a question that came in from a fan, I would have to say, but it's not really a fan. He's my homie Chaco. He got a question. Since I just want to just this fun random time. Talking about Brunson from the Mavs, since they're still in this series, still in the playoffs. How much of it is worth? Let me read this. Okay, so Brunson will obviously get paid this summer because he's balling out now. But how much of it is worth it for other teams to go out to get him, or is he a Mavs only type player? What do you think?
I think he has the ability to play like he is now somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what I think.
But
too.
I think he plays his best in this system, regardless of where he goes, because he's got Luka on his team to, like, if he ever needs to fall back, there's a guy right there he can go and score,
Right. I think everybody that has like a Luka on their team or like a Giannis on their team, like, will play really well in that system. Like, you could say Bobby Portis, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bobby Portis plays really well in that Giannis system. Not saying he won't be a Bobby Portis somewhere else, but I think he's getting the most out of Bobby Portis in like Milwaukee right now. So Brunson,
there's a team that's missing a spot that Brunson could fill to play as well as he is. Like, there's no team that has a Luka or a Giannis type player, that could take a player like Brunson and make him play as well now.
Yeah, I think Brunson will definitely get paid. I think he'll actually stay with the Mavs. He should stay with the Mavs, but if he doesn't, that's on him. Get your money, boy. He'll be fine. I think actually Brunson will be one of those players that gets paid and goes to another team and disappears, though. Like, not disappear like completely, but he will like fall back. He won't be this Brunson, but we'll wait and see. That was a good question. First question we've ever had come in from somebody. So I figured I would, throw that in on the show. But yeah, anything else you want to talk about, man? The show's over. Show's over. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Yeah, man. Yo, did you see Pat Bev?